Today we got a request from Zephyr C. How about a Flappy Bird screen-to-screen?
Well,
how about it?
now we gotta do it.
Now we gotta do it. Hello everyone, welcome back to Screen to Screen. I'm Andrew and this is Chris.
Why, hello there.
Oh goodness, where to even start?
I mean, if they can make an Angry Birds, then they can make a Flappy Birds.
I feel like there's a lot more to Angry Birds than there's to Flappy Birds.
Oh, there is. Like
a lot more.
There's an antagonist in Angry Birds.
Yeah.
And you even have a character states they're angry when they're birds.
This bird is just a Flappy Bird.
He's just a stupid Flappy Bird.
And what do we have to work with here? We have
a bird.
We have a bird. We have like
assets stolen from Mario.
Right. I don't know if we need to address that. We probably have to. There's nothing else to this.
I mean, I just addressed it. I said it's assets.
No, but I mean like in the story.
Movie?
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I want to put that in the maybe pile because I don't love it, but there's nothing else to work with, so we might have to fall back on it.
Oh, it really is nothing to work with, so it's entirely up to us.
We've got a city in the background. We've got sort of like it's like a Super Nintendo graphics, like, you know, not just Mario, but like all this stuff looks like of that era.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a bird that's perhaps a bit clumsy.
He's a bit of a clumsy bird, maybe. I mean, he certainly doesn't fly very well.
It's like Sisyphus. Like there's no winning. It's just keep playing over and over and over.
Yeah.
And then you lose and you start over again. Like,
oh, do we want to use that for this movie?
I mean, maybe that's the theme. Maybe it's about a bird who never gives up, even when there's no end victory, and the journey, life's journey, is its own reward.
Okay, all right.
Where all the other birds are making plans or
migrating
or changing things up. And maybe not getting the fulfillment they want. Maybe they all succeed, but they don't get the fulfillment they want out of their success. Well, Flappy Bird never succeeds, but never stops trying, and in itself is its own reward. I'm just getting very philosophical here because we have to do something.
That is philosophical, but not much of a movie.
I mean, it's a good theme to hang a movie on.
All right.
But again, like we could keep. It's still very early stages here. We can keep kind of spitballing different ideas.
Well, let's try and figure out why this bird is flapping. Like, why is he flapping through these pipes? What's his goal? What's his motivation?
Why doesn't he go around the pipes?
Like, can he not go around the pipes?
Is he trapped in a 2D world? That doesn't look like he's in 2D because you could see a background.
That's true, although the background never moves.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a best, there's a score, so maybe this is a competition of some sort.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's a sports movie, and I feel like we keep going back to sports movie, which is fine.
Well, maybe it's not a sports movie. Maybe it's a Saw movie where he's forced to go through these. Maybe these are all different birds. Maybe they die when they hit the thing and stare at the floor forever.
It's about like if you stop, if you don't click, he just falls to the ground.
Yes.
If you click too much, he goes to the top and then you hit the pipes.
Yes, he dies off screen.
Is there something to that? Is there
almost certainly
is there
not.
Something we could pull?
God, but we have to make this movie so we could eventually make the pornographic spin-off Flappy Bird.
Flappy Bird.
And I really want to make Flappy Bird.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
He's a chubby bird. He's got tiny wings. There's also the game Tiny Wings, but that's a different bird.
Now, is he a bird?
Is he a bird?
I know it's called Flappy Bird, but he doesn't look like a bird.
Is he a robot? Is that or an alien?
He could be a robot, an alien. He could just be a very fat gerbil who put little wings on himself.
Okay.
Maybe it's about something that doesn't fly, trying to fly. And the whole like obstacle course, like why doesn't he go around? The answer is this is how he proves that he could fly.
I think I got it.
So maybe like we have a community of flightless birds. Maybe they're puffins. Or...
I think I figured this out.
All right.
Flappy Bird is already a movie. It's a short.
Okay.
And the name of it is Kiwi.
Ah.
If you remember that one.
It's true.
Do yourself a favor if you haven't seen the short Kiwi. So is Flappy Bird a sad movie? Is it a happy movie? Is it a flappy movie? Is it a sappy movie?
I don't know if it's going to be a sad movie.
It's definitely a crappy movie.
Oh, I mean, it's going to be a crappy, flappy movie. This is a bird that like, against all odds, against the advice of all of his friends, against all the jeers from the people who are like, you can't, you're not a fly bird, you're a flightless bird.
Yeah.
He puts together a dumb obstacle course of pipes out in the, I don't know, an industrial dump or something. Like, it explains why we're not in the city, but it's in the background.
There's some sort of place where there are pipes.
Yeah, so he's taking a bunch of, like, junk in a junkyard, and he's putting together an obstacle course, and he's going to prove he could fly.
Is there a possibility that somehow the sewage system or whatever of the city has been ruined by some sort of hurricane, let's say, and Flappy Bird has to ride the hurricane to fly through the pipes? I don't know. I was going somewhere with this and I lost it midway through.
All right. Well, let's we gotta do this one flap at a time.
One flap at a time.
So, as a premise, flightless bird that wants to fly. Is that something we can work with?
I think that's kind of cute because he doesn't fly very well.
Exactly. That's why he's a Flappy Bird and not like a fucking eagle.
Right. He's flapping and flapping. So I think I kind of like that. A flightless bird. Is it like his species is flightless, or is he like born like he can't fly? He's got like little tiny wings.
You know, he kind of looks like he's a deformed member of a normal bird crew.
Like he's like the runt of the litter.
I like that.
Oh, and you could even have like the scene at the beginning when like Mama Bird pushes the babies out of the nest, and they all fly away except for Flappy Bird, who hits the ground.
Who is basically just a tennis ball with a beak.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. They all look kind of like normal birds, but he's just a tennis ball with a beak and like little tiny flaps.
All right, I like this. So it's not he's a member of a species that can't fly. He is just like he's an unfortunate.
He's the runt of the litter.
So we have a cadre of a family of birds. We have the one that can't fly, our titular Flappy Bird. So Act 1 is just going to be your standard. He's growing up, kids are picking on him, his mom's supportive, but also wants him not to, like, hey, you're just not gonna be able to fly.
Yeah, so one of those things where it's like, hey, you're good at other stuff.
Yeah, so, like, maybe he's good at building.
But he loves flying. Like, he loves the idea of flying.
Like, all of his posters.
Right, I was thinking of the posters.
Posters in his nest are, like, Superman and, like, other things that shouldn't fly but fly.
Yeah, right, he's obsessed with this. Yeah. And it's all he wants to do. And maybe, well, I don't know the method of which he learns to fly, or it makes sense, but I think that should be sort of his like talent. Is like, I don't want to just jump to this because it's so obvious, but like just an example, like he's an inventor bird.
Yes,
he's super smart.
I mean, I was gonna go like he tinkers with junk. Like, I mean, because later on we're gonna need the pipes.
That's true. Like there's that he lives at the junkyard, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go with
I like he lives in the junkyard because they don't want to be in the city. It's too dangerous. But maybe, I mean, we don't need to have this be part of the movie, but it could be implied that industrial waste is why he can't fly. Like he's a birth defect.
That could be, if it ties in. Like,
as a bit of an environmental message.
If that's the theme, I hate to just tack that on, but if that's like part of the story, then yeah, I think that's a okay.
Yeah.
Pipes definitely kind of bring to mind that kind of thing. It does. Yeah, so maybe that is the way to go. Okay, I kind of like that, and so this is almost. I imagine like we're sort of seeing almost like the second act in the game where he's like training himself.
Yeah, I feel like the game is Act 2, where he's training. Although
I usually like to make the game Act 3, but
no, in this case, the game is so bad that we can't do that. The climax cannot be so dumb and boring.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe this is Act 2.
So Act 2, the training montage, is what we experience in the game. We are going to need, like, a character who's going to be like, hey, don't listen to them, kid. Like, some sort of, I don't know, hobo that teaches him.
Maybe like a junkyard dog.
A junkyard dog's good, or a junkyard rat.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
dogs are pretty, always there.
Yeah,
whereas rats get a bad rap all the time.
Yeah. And, like, rats are like, what's wrong with me? I'm just a big mouse, like... but
he used to be a lab rat.
Ooh, okay. We're kind of tying that in, that whole thing in there.
Yeah. Also a little bit of Fern Gully. Like I'm picturing this rat a little bit like Batty.
Oh, okay, cool. I was thinking it was like, was it Templeton from Charlotte's Web?
Oh, but
Batty's funny.
Yeah, Templeton was more of a like traditional farm rat. Like I really like eating crap I find on the floor.
Right.
Whereas this is like a lab rat who might see himself as a bit of an intellectual, but is still a rat.
Right. Oh, that's pretty good. And he's kind of like the outcast of society.
Yeah.
And Flappy here, I guess that's his name, Flappy.
Yeah, we'll call him Flappy.
And his last name is Bird, I guess.
So we have a bit of an Act 1, a bit of an Act 2, and I'm thinking, like, why is he training?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a bit of a coming of age when the birds all reach, like, fledgling age and they're all learning to fly, that they have kind of a, like, all right, we're going to have our big race through the junkyard, and the best flyer is going to be, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The cool kid.
I like that.
Some reward of some kind, but point being, like, there's something that has that raw talent versus determination element. Like,
right.
The natural flyers are all like, don't even bother entering, Flappy.
Yeah.
And that way Act 3 can be an exciting obstacle course through the junkyard, where Flappy Bird trained in Act 2 for. Should his nickname be Flappy? Like, it's like Dumbo? I think his nickname should be Flappy because that's like what the kids make fun of him with.
Right, it's like, oh, look at him trying to flap. Hey, Flappy, way to flap.
And by the end, he's taking it back. And
It's his
moniker now.
He's embraced the name.
Yeah. So maybe he has, like, I don't know, standard bird name, Tweedum or something.
Tweedums.
If you know what birds' names are, give us a good one.
I mean, maybe that is his name, Flappy, but it was given to him like at birth. Like maybe birds are born knowing how to talk, and they're like, "Hey, who's this guy? Oh, he's this little Flappy." You know, he's
so it's like an endearing thing the mother gave him.
Like I don't know, yeah, like maybe like because I don't know. I'm just trying to put ideas together here, so.
All right, so we got a bird that can't fly, he gets made fun of,
it's
he
kind
gets
of like
picked
Dumbo.
on. Oh, it's like Dumbo.
Except I guess in reverse, because Dumbo, his problem was that he could fly. His ears were so ridiculous that he could fly, and his wings are so, or I guess his body is so bulbous, or his wings are too small that he can't fly.
He has his lame little deformed wings. So Act 1 made fun of. Act 2, he meets the outcast rat, who's a bit of a tinkerer himself, and together maybe they put a little compressed air nozzle together so we can go psh, psh.
Yeah, I like that he controls it in the way you would control the game.
Exactly.
All it is just one button.
It's just like Flappy Bird.
Yeah, I like that.
And then Act 2, they start training, the other kids see, but they're still making fun of them. And then we get to Act 3 with the big race that's been built up over the course of Act 2. He enters, and does he win? Because obviously he's still a shitty flyer, but like...
He completes it. It's like Cool Runnings.
And maybe the kid who wins like sees all this, he sees how he put in so much work and realizes that he's just been coasting on natural talent, and Flappy Bird's been working hard.
Yeah. The guy has never pushed himself in his life. Like, he's been blessed with this talent, but he's never worked a day in his life. And Flappy Bird is, like, basically an adult already. Because he's tried. Every day's been a struggle, and he finished the race. He didn't want to come in first. That was never the point. He just wanted to fly, and he did it. And his victory tastes sweeter than any of the other birds in the race.
Yeah. So that's a pretty good 1, 2, 3. We gotta punch up a little bit is all.
Yeah, we need some punch ups. We solved this a bit early. We need to punch this up.
I like what we have, but it feels like we're missing that hero moment, because a lot of these movies, like the Act 3 event is usually compounded with like a life-threatening situation that our hero's able to shine through and save someone.
Okay.
Should we have something like that? You mentioned a hurricane. A hurricane could be good. Like,
well, the reason why I mentioned hurricane is for two reasons. Because it would like possibly mess up some pipes, and also it would give him the ability to fly.
Oh, I see.
Maybe, I mean, that could be like the Act 1 break. Like some sort of storm event could give him a taste for flying. Like, I think that might be kind of interesting.
Or maybe just falling out of the nest is enough.
Well, I think falling out of the nest is a scene, because like that's a thing birds actually do, if I'm correct.
They do push their young out.
Yeah, and then they learn to fly that way, because they have to. And Flappy Bird, he bounces when he hits the ground.
All right.
It is kind of a sports movie.
A little bit, which is why I kind of want to like take away from the sports a little bit by having maybe the race get interrupted by a hurricane or like something goes wrong.
What if the race is not Act 3, it's the end of Act 2?
All right.
It's that sort of, it leads to a failure of some kind, and that gets redeemed in Act 3.
Okay, I like that, because then less sports movie.
So maybe he goes into the race and he does terrible. He falls and he falls and he falls, and everyone still makes fun of him. It's like, you tried so hard and you have nothing to show for it. And then maybe there is some sort of hurricane. And because he has trained himself to fly without, like, he's not flying like everyone else is flying.
Yeah, he's using a little compressed air.
Yeah,
bursts.
and his methods like are different, and he has to learn to like ride the wind in a certain, you know, like the rat tells him or something, or I don't know. And he learns to fly, and so there's like a hurricane or something, and like his bird friends are kind of caught in it, but he's able to save them because they're trying to flap their way against the, like they're trying to fight the wind and he's going with it.
Yeah.
Like that's the lesson. He's like, don't fight the forces, use them. That's like what Buckminster Fuller said.
Yes.
It's like, don't fight forces, use them, and that's the theme of the.
And we'll resurrect Buckminster Fuller to voice the rat.
Yes, perfect. You can call the rat Bucky.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So Bucky, can you have buck teeth too?
Exactly.
Oh, that's great. So you get Bucky the rat, and
he lives in a little
in a geodesic can,
yeah.
like a little like he's fashioned some sort of.
He uses those little buckyball magnets to make a little home.
So yeah, he always you know, all right. In my mind, rats always sound like Rizzo. Like I can't get that voice.
Even if you're in another country, they have like a thick Brooklyn accent.
That's what rats sound like to me. I don't actually know what Buckminster Fuller sounded like, but I really don't think he sounded like that.
No, he doesn't need to sound like Buckminster Fuller. Just naming him Bucky's enough.
But so yeah. So Bucky keeps telling him, don't fight forces, use them, and so he's using like what's available to him. Yeah. Like he's using his intelligence, he's using the scraps at the junkyard, he's using this nice little training course that's already like in the junkyard. And when he goes to do the race, he's almost like tempted to sort of like he sees other people passing him and he gets discouraged and he makes a big fool out of himself. And then the hurricane happens, and he's not thinking of his pride, he's not thinking of his goals. All he's thinking about is, I need to get my friends safe. And he uses the force of the winds, he uses them, he rides the winds. While his friends are trying to flap against it to get back to their home, he's trying to get them to a different safe spot.
Yeah.
And so they're flying against it, and he's like rolling in the wind, and he's going where he's like, all right, I can't go that way, I'm gonna go this way. You know, like he sees his options, and he's not trying to, he's adapting rather than fighting against something larger than him. And none of these other guys ever had to do that because everything's been handed to them. They've had the talent. They've never had to work with what they got.
Yeah. And I know we're saying he's going to save his friends, even though they're not friends.
Yeah,
but like, at the end of the movie,
they'll be his friends. I mean, like,
it's definitely going to be one of those.
Whether or not they're his friends, they're his like family and like the people. Yeah,
they're the people around him. It's going to be one of those. Why did you save us when we were so cruel to you?
Of course, yeah.
Because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. So I could beat the hell out of you myself.
Oh, I didn't.
And then the rest of the movie is just him like beating them up.
You don't die until I say you die.
I didn't give you permission to die.
Or that's when he activates the mech suit he's been building.
Yeah, like,
Jesus Christ, Flappy!
It's in the background the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's all made out of pipes.
Yes.
And he's like fists come out of the pipes and
what
stuff.
Do you think I was doing over there this whole time? Revenge!
Is there any like... We've got some fun things in here. Is there anything else like...
I mean, we could just go heavy on details now.
That's the thing, is because like the details are what makes it fun, and I think we've got.
I really like Bucky. I think that's a great character.
Yeah.
I'm picturing like one of those super sweet, overprotective moms. Like she sees the kids a little bit off, so she like, no, you can't fly. Like
maybe she's the kind of mom like where she's like a very caring, loving mother, but she's not great at figuring out what to do.
Yeah.
Like, she's so clueless, and she's trying so hard, but she can't really...
means well, but...
She's never had to deal with this. She doesn't know how to deal with a kid that's so different.
Exactly. Is there a father? Are we going to go with the single mom?
I mean...
Maybe the father wasn't a great flyer himself, and there was a storm once, and he never came home.
Ooh.
And that really feeds into the overprotective nature of the mother.
Yeah, maybe he got lost in a storm because he tried. Yeah, like the movie starts and it's like there's a storm and he's like trying to get back to the nest. It's like, I'll make it. I like that.
And like it's raining, the camera pulls in, you have like the 4 eggs, and one of them's a little bit smaller than the other.
This is now just Finding Nemo, but okay.
Hey, it's a collection of Finding Nemo. It's like 4 movies, but that's how movies are, you know.
Yeah.
You take the parts you like from other movies, and you use them to make your movie better.
And it's sort of like he's finishing his like father's legacy. Like his father tried to fight forces, and Flappy's going with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just letting the wind carry him. He's using the wind. He's setting the wind at his back, as they say. You know?
Yeah.
So he's going to end up somewhere. He doesn't know where he's going to end up, but he's going to get there his way. Like he's not going to end up like smashed up against a tree because he's looking where he's going.
Yeah.
And he's going to guide himself safely to the ground wherever that is.
Also, what's important is by killing off one of the parents in the beginning, we're guaranteed that this will be a Disney movie now. We can sell the property to them.
That's how it is. It's always a single parent. I think a lot of times though with like kids movies, either single parent or no parents.
Yes.
And I think it's possibly just to give the kid more independence.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, that's just my guess. Maybe there's another reason. Maybe it's just convention, so people do it.
I think often in Disney movies, it's to establish like what the person's missing or what they're trying to get back, or it informs one of the other characters' motivations. Well, like for us, it's going to be the mother behaves the way she does because of what happened to the father.
Right.
And it'll
again very much Finding Nemo, but
a little bit Finding Nemo.
But it's not about her. It's about Flappy.
Yes.
Unless you want to give her like a B story, in which case we're just
I mean, if you could think of a good one. I was just gonna say I like this also because it'll help. It builds up the storm in Act 3 a lot more.
Yeah.
Like, the stakes are very real right off the bat. The kids have like heard the story so many times about how their father died, but he died saving them.
Right. I mean, by doing this, and again, we could do this, but it really seems like the only option for the mother, any arc she could possibly have, it's going to be the Finding Nemo arc. It's the parent has to learn to let go. The B plot is it's Shigeru Miyamoto tracking down this bird who's stolen his intellectual property.
Where are my pipes?
Where are my pipes? Like he wakes up and all his pipes are gone.
Oh man.
Like Shigeru Miyamoto wakes up, he pours himself a glass of water, except wait, there's no water. He goes down to the basement, all his pipes are gone. And that's the cold open.
That's the cold open. We could theoretically have a background scene where a plumber in a red hat pops out of one of these pipes.
Oh, it's like a little cameo?
Just like a background Easter egg. Nintendo would just be like, yeah, what that for? Use other stuff.
That's what Nintendo sounds like.
Nintendo sounds like Mario.
You know what I'd weirdly be more in favor of, and I don't know why this just feels better to me.
Go on.
Is if there is
a green-hatted plumber?
Well, I was gonna say there is a red-hatted plumber, but he is not at all like he's not like
Captain Luabon.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like something like that, where you can't say this is Mario. You can't say that.
It's a safe.
From a storytelling perspective, I feel like it would be more distracting if Mario just lives in this universe.
That's true.
It would just be kind of a fun nod to have like this red clad plumber go like
someone who's clearly an homage to Mario.
A clear homage, but it's not literally Mario. Otherwise, it's sort of like I find it just distracting.
Yeah, it would raise a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Another option would be we never see humans whatsoever in this movie.
Sure. And, that's how it was. We never mentioned humans.
Yeah. In which case, maybe a rat that's not Bucky could be wearing a red hat that pops out of a pipe.
Sure.
And again, this is just an Easter egg that I wanted to put
funny.
in
If like a rat with a red cap pops out of a pipe. That's just kind of a funny nod there. Brand new idea.
All right.
So it's post-apocalyptic world, and all the video games are gone.
I don't want to live in this world.
And this bird, before the apocalypse happened, or maybe he's read in books. He's read in books about Super Mario Brothers, and he wants to play it, and so he sets up all these pipes.
This is his best idea.
That's the best approximation because he's never actually played the game.
He just saw pictures of green pipes and a fucking plumber.
Right, and the whole town gathers together and like, this is what a video game was like, and now they're all, they're wrong, but it's brought the town together.
Yeah.
And everyone's happier now because Flappy Bird is playing Super Mario Brothers after because like what we're seeing in the background, that's not a cloud, that's like dust, like
that's nuclear winter.
Yeah, that's a nuclear winter on the city. All right, well, if you've got any other ideas for Flappy Bird or any other game into movie or whatever, we do lots of stuff on Screen to Screen.
Yeah, it's a fun experimentation show.
We'll see you next time here at Screen to Screen.
Bye.
Bye.
Stay flappy, my friends.
Ooh.